I gotta say, out of all of the figures that have been announced so far for 2024 in Black Series, it's already been a great year for me as a fan, and this is already my favorite release. I know they pipelined that we're getting another single release B2 later, and that we're getting a 3-pack release from Jedi Survivor with a Bedlam Raider B2 in it, but getting a B2 and a C-3PO with Battle Droid body in the same pack, thank you, Hasbro. I am so happy about this pack. It's so cool. Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another RebelScum.com video review. Today we are reviewing the new Black Series Attack of the Clones Super Battle Droid and C-3PO with B-1 Battle Droid body 2-pack. And it's in a nice open window bubble. You got your B2 here, you got your 3PO here, you got that side profile art on the side where they're stacked on top of each other. So we have the B2 art and the C-3PO art right here. On the back, we get their art separate on each side, which I really like a lot, as well as some words and things on the back. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here they are out of the packaging, and they both look really awesome. I mean, we already had an idea of what we were getting into with this one because we've already had the B1 body for so long now. Really, the only difference is, of course, the head there. Now, we'll cover this guy more in a moment in depth. First, let's cover the new B2 Super Battle Droid. I've been looking forward to this figure for forever now. Can't tell you how many interviews and just casual conversations I've had with members of the Hasbro team where I would work in, hey, when's the Super Battle Droid coming in? Of course, before they announced it last year at SDCC. And every time it was just, we can't talk about what we're working on, even if we're not working on it, or even if we are working on it and all that stuff. I know we're all tired of getting that answer all the time, but unfortunately, that's the only answer they can give because that's the one they're allowed to give. Obviously, if they could tell us, they would tell us, right? Because they're fans just like we are. And they're excited about this stuff too. And you can tell because so much was done right with the B2. And I've had B2 Battle Droids in 6-inch scale in my collection already because there have been some 3D modelers who are very, very talented out there. Unfortunately, I do not know the name of the modeler who designed this B2 because it was printed for me by a good friend of mine who subscribed to the guy's Patreon and agreed to just print them for me as long as I, supplied him with the materials to do so. And so that's how I got my first B2 that I made, and I did it in the more dark blue colors because I really like that dark blue. And then I also made a Republic Commando version, which will compare to the other really cool feature that they added to this figure when we start covering that part. So, first things first, articulation. This figure is fully articulated. Shoulders are on a really good ball joint. You get really good movement on those shoulders. You got a swivel there at the top of the elbow and at the bottom of the elbow. Single jointed elbows. Wrist joints, which that's awesome too. Same thing on this side, except on this side you have the blasters on the wrist versus no blasters on the wrist. Waist is on a ball joint. Hips are on a ball joint. Upper thigh, and I like how it rotates around that circular hip plate right there. You got a swivel there at the top of the knee, single jointed knees that go up and down, ankle joints, and that's pretty much it for articulation. You can get some really cool poses out of this guy. I will say, I wish he had that metallic blue effect on more than just the head because the actual chassis color is gray, dark gray on the B2 Super Battle Droid, but it has that bluish tint to it or that bluish color change effect to it due to the mix of metals that make up the alloy plating of the B2 Super Battle Droid. A lot of different metals went into making its armor chassis because there were a few good blaster and even lightsaber resistant medals, some of which were a little bit more expensive than others, which is why you didn't have an army of B2s that were just lightsaber resistant, aside from the Cortosis B2s from Thrawn Alliances and other sources of media that aren't canon anymore, except for Thrawn Alliances, where it's such a rare and expensive metal, being a lightsaber resistant metal, that they were only able to make a few, which Anakin and Thrawn sabotaged anyway. So the regular B2s were a little bit better against lightsabers and blasters versus, say, your B1, but still, it would have been nice to see that bluish effect in more places than just on the head alone. That is kind of where my disappointment in the paint job is on this figure, but I also like that we get some little sandblasting over here on the legs, right here on the torso section, on the arms. You've got some scuffs on him in different spaces, like on his back here. There's what looks like maybe a blast mark that just kind of didn't hit him good enough to pierce the armor, because maybe there was some more of that metal over here concentrated and it just resisted better than other spots. Who knows? You got that awesome little red indicator light there on the chest panel. And then one of my favorite features, the head and chest panel come off just like in the Republic Commando video game, which we did play for you here on rebelscum.com if you want to go back and check out that gameplay footage in case you haven't experienced that story in Star Wars. I covered the entirety of the Republic Commando story mode for all Star Wars fans who wanted to view it. But I love it. Everything's in the right place. You got that big center red optic looking indicator light. You got the little white one down here to the side. And I'm hoping maybe we'll get a Gaming Greats Super Battle Droid in the future where he has the proper rocket arm, because technically the B2 of Republic Commando is a B2HA because it's got the rocket arm attachment, not the wrist blaster attachment, but it's on the right instead of left, as with the now canonical configuration of the B2HA. And I definitely want to see it with the proper indicator light over here on the right instead of the left. Now, canonically, it's on the left, not the right, but in Republic Commando, it was lower and on the right in a much wider red circle indicator light. And then, of course, you had the, the rocket arm instead of the wrist blaster arm. So picturing this with this in the future potentially is very, very cool, and I hope Hasbro has plans for that at some point in the near future, especially since we got to get an HA anyway if they're doing the Bedlam Raider B2 properly, because the Bedlam Raider B2 that was in the game was an HA, not a regular B2, although there was concept art for a regular B2, which somehow I feel that's the one we're going to get, which I won't be too upset about, but I still hope we got the proper one coming. That said, this figure is really awesome. Now for the C-3PO. And the C-3PO is cool. Also fully articulated. Head is on a swivel-ish joint up at the top, as well as that forward and back B1 neck joint. You even have the extending neck, just like with the regular B1. Yes, I wish they included a swappable head just like everybody else, but you know who did? Bandai. Bandai did do a swappable head for their release of the Geonosis B-1 Battle Droid. It came with a swappable C-3PO head specifically, so you could do that if that was something you wanted. But now that we finally have this version, it's really cool to have a matching one to go with the rest of my Black Series 6-inch scale, because that's the majority of what I personally collect anyway. You got fully articulated shoulders, in and out, just like on the other. Swivel upper bicep, single jointed elbows, swivel just below the wrist joints. Waist can go left and right just a little bit, just like on the other molds. Full 360 on the hips, because they're also on a ball joint. Single jointed knees, go all the way back because he folds up, and the same ankle joints as well. And he's looking really good. Also, for comparison, here he is next to the regular Black Series Geonosis B-1 Battle Droid from Phase 3. And here he is next to the Geonosis B-1 Heavy Battle Droid from Battlefront 2. And just because here he is next to the Attack of the Clones C-3PO custom I made for that swappable head that came with the Bandai, and I even made it to where the head swapping feature still works. So since I have an extra Geonosis B1 now, I can have a Attack of the Clones C-3PO next to my Black Series Attack of the Clones B-1 Battle Droid body C-3PO. So you can see how they look side by side. Pretty cool. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's review featuring the new Black Series C-3PO with B-1 Battle Droid body and B-2 Super Battle Droid 2-pack in 6-inch scale. What did you think about this 2-pack? Or were you waiting to see what you thought about this 2-pack until you saw a review like this one? Let us know in the comments down below. Me personally, I'm super charged up about this B2. It is, not only is it exactly what I was pretty much hoping it would be mold-wise and then some in terms of articulation, because this is even better articulated than I expected it to be 100% honest with you. But having the extra feature of the removable head and chest panel calling back to Republic Commando, which is pretty much the only time we actually see them like that, is a really, really cool callback, and once again leads me to hope and be excited that we might have a B2HA from Republic Commando coming at some point in the near future, maybe in the gaming greats. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, because it would look so cool next to that gaming greats B-1 Battle Droid. Just saying. And a big thank you to Eric and the other members of the Black Series team on the Hasbro Star Wars team for putting in the work on this figure, as well as many of the other figures that we get to enjoy in the Black Series toy line. I feel like those guys don't get enough thanks for all the awesome work that they do. And while we want some other characters now and again, and a little less repaints and a little less Din Djarin's now and then, they really do put in some amazing work on a lot of these awesome figures that we get to collect. And I'm just so happy that they absolutely nailed it. And I can't wait to see what the next Battle Droid variant is going to be. And I can't wait to see what the next Black Series reveal is going to be, just in general, because they keep putting out so many awesome characters that I know I love and other fans love too. Stay tuned for more Black Series reviews and other content here on rebelscum.com. Like and subscribe and follow us on social media, and check the main website daily for all kinds of new daily toy news, reviews, and more. Check out cooltoyreview.com, our sister website, with all kinds of awesome non-Star Wars toy reviews, news, and more. And like and subscribe to the Cool Toy Review YouTube channel for all of those cool toy reviews. Join us this summer, June 27th through the 30th, at Rebel Scum Con. Rebel Scum Con is happening this summer. The first time in nearly 30 years of RebelScum.com's long history of being an awesome platform and outlet for Star Wars fans all over the world. Well, now we can all meet together in person at Rebel Scum Con, which is also brought to you in partnership with our good friends at BigBadToyStore.com, who will be sponsoring all kinds of awesome giveaways at Rebel Scum Con 2024. So make sure you attend, because you might also win some fabulous free prizes that are really awesome. I know, because I got to pick them out. So make sure you come out. It's going to be an awesome time. And in the meantime, if you're looking for some awesome Star Wars toys, collectibles, and other merch, check out Order 66 Toys, the world's first official all-collectible Star Wars toy store. You can find us on Order 66 Toys on Facebook, and tune in to our weekly Friday night live sales. They've been going live every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for about 6 years straight now, and they ship all around the world. And last but not least, check out CollectorsOracle.com so you can mark all kinds of awesome figures that you'd like to have in your collection, as well as figures you have in your collection, all absolutely free. And you can share those lists with friends, family, and social media alike, so that the community around you can help you complete your collection. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you Rebel Scum.